soybean farmer here. Thought I'd give you a little update on this sideways zigzagged water pump project. Everything about this thing has just been, I made the wrong decision, wrong choice. It all started going sideways with that bolt right there. It broke, and that's how much was stuck in the head block. Now, what I did was I tried heating it. I tapped on it, and I tried heating it and quenching it with cold water, and I tapped on it some more, and I just never could budge it. And I said, all right, I'll just drill it out. And started into it with a drill bit and got about a 1/4 inch in and broke the drill bit. Okay, there was some choice words over that. So I went back and tried heating it and quenching it with cold water and got nowhere. Now, the problem I had with trying to heat it, I got a bottle of MAP gas with a standard tip on it, and the flame pattern was too wide. So I was heating the bolt and the head block at the same time. What I really needed to be doing was just heating the tip of this bolt right there, and let that heat transcend down through the bolt. Yes, it would make it expand, but that expansion would break this rust. And I never could achieve that because I don't have the right tool. So, along that lines of not having the right tool, a few times now people have commented on my channel and asked me, what does it take to get into farming? Well, I'm going to tell you, if you're thinking about getting into farming, the very first thing you need to go out and buy is an oxyacetylene torch kit, the whole outfit. And be sure and get the array of tips that go on that torch handle. You want especially that little tip that's typically used for brazing, because it's got a fine, very small flame coming out of it. If I'd have had that tip, or some way to put that tip on that MAP gas, I'd have been able to concentrate the heat on the tip of this bolt. Heating that whole area at the same time bought me nothing. So, if you're going to get into farming, make doggone sure you've got yourself an oxyacetylene torch outfit. What finally got this out was I called for help. Larry Deans came down, and that's exactly what he did. He had that small tip. He heated that, and he went through it about 3 times before he could ever budge the thing. And he got it out for me. Thank you, Larry. Now, the next thing that's gone sideways with this project is the radiator, which is laying over here. The thing broke. On this side, now the way this thing works, this mounting bracket is brazed into the bottom of the radiator, right down here. That one's still on there. It bolts in right here to this piece, which is brazed in up here on the top, and it broke. See, right like that. They were broken. They broke sometime in the tractor. They were broken. They kind of fell apart in my hand when I was pulling the radiator out. Now, the other piece that looks just like this, that goes down here, it broke off. And as I said, they're brazed on here, brazed on here. And then there's some bolts that go in here. And that, the best I can figure, it don't make sense why these are slotted, because with that brazed here and that brazed here, it's looking to me like that's fixed. You can't, I thought at first it was the height adjustment on this that you could slide it up and down, but it's not. I guess the slotted holes here, this universal bracket thing goes on several different radiators. So what I was first thinking about doing was just carrying the radiator over to the radiator shop and having them braze this back, and then the one that like this that goes down here, get them to braze that back. And while the radiator was over there, I'd let them go ahead and dip it and clean it and test it and get it, you know, back in good shape. The radiator was not leaking. I'm looking at the budget right now, and since the radiator's not leaking, what I'm actually thinking about doing is trying some JB Weld on this, where it get it back lined up on the little pieces there, and try some JB weld on that. Let it set overnight and see how that works out. Out here at the tractor, this has been apart so long and out in the weather, I crown mess in all the places bugs and insects and mess could get into here. I did get this clean. That's the oil cooler. It's looking great. And I took my finger and smeared grease all over that to keep it from rusting up. So I've got to clean that surface down and get it good and clean. And I want to go in here and clean out these threads. I've already sprayed WD-40 in them a couple of times, and now I want to just actually take the brand new bolts that I bought and run them in and out of there a couple of times. And I'm going to put anti-seize on those bolts when I put them in here. Steel on steel. Hopefully, you know, I won't ever in my lifetime have to mess with this again. Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping. But this turned into a real aggravating job.